grab, and he's going to be sacked.
We have made it, everybody. What is going on, Broncos country? Your friendly neighborhood horsepower hour is here. The regular season has started. Our Broncos are 1-0. It was like a fever dream yesterday, but we're 1-0, right? We're going to talk about everything in that game, along with previewing the Colts game. Y'all be sure to get in the comments. Be sure to smash that like, subscribe. As always, I'm joined by my friends Kodiak from Kodiak Broncos, no longer Kodiak Broncos podcast, Jeremy Sean of Broncos Unbridled, and Mark from Marky Sports Denver. Again, guys, thank you for being a part of this every single week and forcing me to do this. This has been the greatest thing I've ever been forced to do. But let's go ahead and get into it. We'll start with Mark and work our way around the horn. Give us one takeaway you had from that game before we dive into stock up, stock down for these players against the Titans. What did we just watch?
We just watched the Broncos' 4th preseason game. That's what we watched. That's exactly what it seemed like to me. It seemed like they were like, Sean Payton was probably pissed off about the rules. He didn't like the fact that they have to limit the amount of practices they get, the padded practices, limited snaps in the preseason. So he's like, you know what? The NFL gave us a pretty easy opponent, which I found out is a really easy opponent because let me tell you something. The Titans are terrible. At least their coaches. And we just treated it like a preseason game, and we were trying crazy things. We were mismanaging the clock. So that's what I felt like we witnessed, man. But very, very fortunate to be 1-0. And hopefully it's going to be better next week.
Well said. Our 4th preseason game got it out of the way. Jeremy, what is your week 1 takeaway?
I couldn't wait for football to come back, and then now I'm like already annoyed. Which is like, I waited a year to be frustrated, which is like not the feeling I was expecting. That's the reaction. But it's going to be okay.
It's going to be great, man. We're 1-0. We're 1-0, Can't take that for granted. Kodiak, week 1 takeaway.
Well, week 1 takeaway is Cam Ward doesn't know what hit him, man. All I can say is that this defense, man, oh man. I think the special teams units, maybe not cross shot, but I think the kickoff coverage might be running some gassers at practice today. And if the special teams unit is going to be running gassers, I don't even want to know what the offense is going to be running. Either way, shout out to our defense for stepping up and giving us the dub right there. And honestly, I think they took care of business. They handled things exactly as they should have been handled. So, yeah, it's my main takeaway. Shout out to the defense. I know that it's nothing nobody didn't already know, but I got to give a shout out to them, and I will use my platform there to give a mile-high salute to our defense for saving us and making sure we won that game.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, my week 1 takeaway is that on Saturday afternoon, I thought I watched preseason football with my Colorado Buffaloes against Delaware, freaking rotating quarterbacks, freaking playing like 60 guys throughout that whole game. I did not feel like a 31-7 victory at all. And then Sean Payton said, Coach Prime, hold my beer. Watch me go for it on 4th and 8 at the end of this game for no good reason. The lack of judgment from Sean Payton, I'm just starting to believe that it is just always a week 1 thing. He's just going to do something freaking crazy. And he wanted to see Bo Nix channel his own inner Brett Favre, and I hope we don't see that again for the rest of time. As the Jaguars owner said, go on forever. After they won this game.
God, that was good.
Go on forever, man.
Forever.
Yeah, man. I loved it. Guys, we are going to jump into our stock up, stock down segment. But guys, Kodiak, Mark, Jeremy, these guys have been so gracious to allow me to plug my flagship sponsor, Profit X. who is the flagship sponsor of David Talks Broncos and David Talks Buffs. Hold on for just 1 minute while we give them a shout out, and we'll get into the good stuff. Want to give a quick shout out to the flagship sponsor of David Talks Buffs and David Talks Broncos YouTube channel, and that is Profit X, America's #1 sports prediction market. This is peer-to-peer sports prediction where players play against each other, like you and me, instead of a sports book versus the house. You almost always get the best odds on any play that you're looking to make. They operate in over 40 states, including Texas, where I reside. So use the promo code Dave and claim up to $200 in profit cash for all plays in the first 30 days of playing on the site. Terms and conditions apply. Go ahead, click the link in the description, sign up using my promo code Dave on Profit X, and join me on America's #1 sports prediction market. All right,
Let's
guys.
go. How many takes did that take you, David? How many takes?
Dude, honestly, I was doing that for like 45 minutes.
Stock down, David.
I'm not lying to you guys. This stuff is a lot harder than you guys I think it is, man. I'm sitting there doing take after take after take, then slicing that thing. I worked on that ad. I'm not joking, for 2 hours to get to that 54 seconds.
Stock down, David's literacy. Stock up, the ad itself.
Stock down, BetMGM and 365. Stock up, Profit X.
100%.
Yeah, you definitely want to go with the sports prediction market, right? Just always much better odds. You're always going to get, way better lines than you would with a traditional sports book. But let's talk about some stock up, stock down with our players, these Broncos players. Who should start first? I think Jeremy, man. We're gonna go for a few rounds, guys. Of course, join in the comments thread. Let us know how you're feeling about this. Dave Talks Profit X. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Jeremy, I'm definitely calling on you. So you're gonna start out with a stock up or a stock down right now?
Are we gonna? Okay, we can go either.
Yeah.
All right. I'll take stock up for 500, David. Let's do, who was I most proud of? Somebody, I got a couple, but I really loved the way that Justin Stranad came out and played. He was not expected to be doing a lot going into the season. It was all about Dre Greenlaw and all about Alex Singleton coming back. And surprise, surprise, Justin Stranad just was the guy on the field yesterday, all over the place, making plays, just getting to the runners. I mean, I love the way he played. So yeah, huge shout out and stock up to Justin Stranad. Way to go, brother.
I love that. Yeah, he 4th year, 5th year breakout, right? It can happen every now and then.
You got that starting experience last year, so I think just keep it going. I mean, it's pretty rare to have your starter just downshift to be your backup. I mean, we have a couple of situations like that with PJ Locke and him, but that just goes to show you how much. I mean, that's a good team guy to be like, I'm not going to whine. I'm going to accept the role and I'm going to be ready when the time comes. And he was, and we couldn't have done it without him. He made some huge plays yesterday.
And 5 total tackles, a sack, and a TFL. He was fantastic.
Yeah, really good.
He was fantastic. Let's kick it over to Kodiak.
All right, so I do want to give this time to give a shout out to a lot of people are not happy with the way our offensive line played. I entirely disagree. I thought our O-line played good. I thought they didn't have a great performance, but I thought, they did everything that they had needed to do to give us a fighting chance for our offense to stay in that game, even while the passing game was struggling. Obviously, they didn't really start impressing until the 4th quarter when we were starting to run the ball. Shout out Alex Palczewski for always reporting eligible. And for those in the stadium, they heard 63 reporting eligible come on the loudspeaker from the referee. And then we started cheering and it was funny. But I thought the offensive line played pretty well. Okay. 40 dropbacks Bo Nix had, and he was pressured 7 times from, charge pressures via our offensive line. Now, obviously, he did get pressured 12 times in total, and that's from blitzes or whatever. But I do think our offensive line did good enough. I don't understand the hate I've been seeing on a lot of the social platforms today. I know they opened pretty like wishy-washy, but for the most part, I thought it was smooth sailing throughout the game. And, had we've been able to connect on a few of these plays, I feel like nobody would be talking about the offensive line. I don't know why everybody's saying the offensive line played bad. I think maybe I'm just taking crazy pills, but everybody on Twitter, even people in our comment section, are calling out dudes on the O-line. I'm like, I can't really agree with that. So, yeah, I thought they played good. And obviously, I was worried about them coming into the game, and they did surpass my expectations. So, they held their own in a tough matchup.
Mark, did you want to piggyback on anything on that? I feel like
yeah, I agree wholeheartedly with the O-line talk. I don't understand it. I mean, people want to single out like the one time Wattenberg got, pushed back because that big old dude, was his name Sanders?
Tavondre Sweat.
Oh, yeah, Tavondre Sweat. He just basically took his legs out. I mean, all right, those kinds of things happen. But overall, I think they played well. I think Bo Nix did a terrible job of making the O-line look bad on a lot of plays where I felt like they blocked well enough. The run blocking was really good, and it should have been. So it's not to say that it's like I'm super optimistic about it now, but they definitely did well enough, in my opinion, on there. So I definitely agree with you on that, Kodiak. A stock-up player for me, man, and I'm going to say there was one. So I made everybody a promise on this channel that we're never going to talk about this particular position again, so I'm not going to. I can have David handle that in terms of a big stock up. But two guys, I couldn't choose between the two of them, man. It's got to be Talanoa Hufanga and Jonah Ellis. Those dudes, first of all, Hufanga is going to be a fan favorite by week 4 if he's not already. He is off the chain. He flies around. His hair looks awesome in the helmet. Forcing the fumbles. Love the guy. And then Jonah Ellis is just so fun to watch, dude. Like, he goes 110% every single time he's on there. And this defense is lethal. It is scary. It's actually like almost uncomfortable watching them. It was yesterday. And obviously we're going to be playing much better opponents in the future, but that was insane. So those are my two stock up guys.
Wow. Yeah. 10 total tackles leading the team for Talanoa Hufanga. And Jonah Ellis had 3 of his own plus a sack. And I think let me double check here. Yeah, he did also have a TFL. So,
well, it went to sack, you get a TFL too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I know it's very stupid.
I think it's different in college football, I want to say.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. But
no, it might be. It's a very dumb thing. They should separate the two because it's like obviously it's a TFL if you got a sack. So
yeah, okay, yeah, that makes sense. But
no, but like what I'm saying is that they should make it so where it's not like a sack does not count as a TFL. They should be separate.
Who was the one on here saying last week that the Broncos would have 3 double-digit sack getters? Or
I said that. Dreaming? I said no. I said Jonah was going to have double digits.
That you might as well have said.
And then we agreed that Cooper and Benito were both going to get there as well. Yeah.
Well, I think that prediction right now, Jeremy, is looking pretty darn good. 6 sacks. All right, I will start. I'll piggyback on what you're going to say or what you said, Kodiak, with the offensive line. I'm going to say right now, I'll start with a stock down because I got to end on like a stock up or something like that. But Bo Nix, stock down, man. And if you're saying anything otherwise, man, I don't know what you watched yesterday. All the greats, they have their bad games. And he just had a plain bad game. Nix was throwing off his right foot so many times in the pocket, so skittish with his footwork, and dude was just stressed. I mean, was it the second drive? Was Sean Payton getting those play calls in late? He's yelling at him on the sideline. It was funny. It was interesting. I like that our quarterback and head coach kind of have that relationship to where they can kind of get at each other. I think that's healthy, but he had some weird energy, man, and he's not a rookie anymore. Should Sean Payton have helped settle him in? Yes. But this is a guy that Sean Payton has talked about being a top 5 quarterback in the NFL here in a few years, right? We need Bo Nix to start ironing out some of these things in his game. And we won, strangely, in spite of Bo Nix, for the most part, give or take maybe a couple drives. It was a tough game. Guys, any other thoughts right now on Bo Nix before we get into some of the other players?
You summarized it.
Yeah, I'll piggyback off it though.
Yeah.
If we're gonna go the next round, I'll do a stock down, and I think the person who really, really, really did not help Bo Nix, big stock down to Sean Payton. I don't know what was going on yesterday. Oh my gosh, can we get a play in? Can we get something like that's actually like? Can you run the football? Like help Bo out. If you see he's got a little like first game energy, like let's like freaking manage it a little bit. I was noticing we were not getting out of the huddle until 10 seconds left, like over and over and over. I was like, is it Nate Hackett or is it Sean Payton coaching this team? Like,
What happened to the one-word play calls he was telling Kay Adams about?
Exactly. And it was just like, I mean, and other people didn't help me either. Like, I will say, but yeah, no, Sean Payton, I don't know what the fourth down play calls were. I don't know what punting it to or kicking it off with 15 seconds left in the half for a return. Like there was so many that I was just like, what is going on right now with Sean Payton? Like, I don't understand it. Like, I feel he had the nervous energy because every time he was like looking at the play sheet, like, did you notice how like his hand was like stuttering? I was just like, oh god,
dude is cracked out, bro.
Something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was watching
he
crack
was-
streams yesterday, so I just had a standard definition view of the game, so no, could not.
Yeah, if you go back and rewatch it, every single time they cut to Sean Payton, like looking at his play sheet with like 20 seconds left, still calling the play, his hand is like the whole like page thing is like fluttering, like he's like got the shakes, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, what is happening? So yeah, Bo was frantic a little bit,
Yeah,
but at the same time, it was like every time he'd get to the line, there was like 5 seconds left, and he was like, no, you go over there, no. People weren't in the right place. It was just, yeah. Sean Payton, I don't know what was going on. Mark thinks he was like so comfortable that he was just like experimenting, like, oh, we got this. So like, let's see what happens if we do this.
preseason
I'm
week 4.
I'm confident that was the case. Very much so.
At least it would like make sense if that was
Because
the case.
dude, like think about it. He knew he's like, they're not gonna score a lot of points. All we have to do is get one more touchdown. So screw it. We got some time. Just figure it out. It was
Go
wild.
for it on 4th and 8.
So yeah, that's my biggest stock down, Sean
Yeah.
Payton.
Absolutely. It was his worst game as a coach.
I think that this was worse than the first game of his tenure here against the Raiders, opening with an onside kick. I thought that was insane. I thought that was absolutely insane. And he beat that today. Kodiak, what are you going to say, dude?
I got to say about that, I will defend that. I will defend that onside kick to my grave. I will defend that to my grave because you get that, you have no idea what the game could have done. And we had not that much expectation going into that year. So if you're going to do something like that, you may as well do it in a season where you're not expected to be much. That's just all I'll say about that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, stock down Sean Payton. I did want to highlight one of these comments here. Zach Phillips did say this regarding Bo Nix. Sorry to take a step back, but said, I did love seeing his cadence, command of the line. Like Mark said in his video, felt like he was testing things out like it was a preseason game. That was nice to, I think at least a couple times he got people to jump with that hard count too. So that was nice to see. Again, we've seen this long enough with Sean Payton. It's just a mystery box with him and his teams every single week one. And we should have known going into this game by now that Sean Payton always makes things difficult on the team week one.
It does.
The one thing I will say real quick about the cadence, the only thing that I wanted him to do more was have him do the hard cadence and then snap it like right after that. There was a couple times he got people to jump and then they were able to get reset and we didn't respond to it and we didn't get anything out of it. So like part of the hard cadence, like Elway used to do, he'd go hot, and then he'd snap it like right after that one. So like when the guy leans forward, you're actually hiking it, but he would do the hard cadence and then wait like 5 seconds for things to settle, which it's like, then now you're making it pointless unless the guy comes all the way across. So that needs to get fixed.
Yeah, what did you guys make of the Lucas Kroll incident right there where he was yelling at Kroll to kind of sit down? Do you think that it was – I didn't really think much of it. We saw Cam Ward yelling at dudes. Freaking
Yeah.
Captain Calvin Ridley catch the ball, man. He was terrified of Brandon Jones.
Yeah.
I think Bo was, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I like the fire from Bo. I just don't like it when he can't hone it in, and he couldn't hone it in yesterday, and it was weird. It's not like in the Raiders game when him and Sean were yelling at each other on the sidelines, and he comes out and just goes demon mode, right? He was kind of just like letting it spill over onto the game. So it's one of those things that was just very, very strange. But I didn't mind it. I didn't mind it in a sense of Lucas Kroll, especially because that was Lucas Kroll's biggest issue last year, man. It was a lot of mental mistakes. It was a lot of him doing things like just making bad decisions, things that you can control. So he's just trying to be like, dude, if you sit the easy completion, we can keep the drives going. And that's the frustrating thing about this offense is like it's always the smallest little thing that keeps us from continuing to extend drives and get into any kind of rhythm. So didn't mind that.
Well, Lucas Kroll better learn football because he's about to have a big role in this offense over the next 4 weeks. Yeah, it better happen. Okay.
Yeah.
Getting distracted. Who is Kodiak? Are you up next, Jeremy?
No, Kodiak.
Okay. Stock up, stock down. Who do you got?
I'm surprised it took a little long for us to go without mentioning this player, but I got a huge stock down, and it's one player who I just do not need to see again, and it is Tyler Bidet, man. I didn't think it was possible for me to miss Jaleel McLaughlin, but after yesterday's performance, I was just like, all right, I have seen enough. Now, what I will say, I think I was a little reactionary yesterday with all the stuff I put out on my Twitter and on my post-game short. I did say that I've seen enough of him. That being said, we have a 17-game sample size of Jaleel McLaughlin not really being that good, running behind these exact 5 players running on the offensive line, running next to Bo Nix, and, just not being all that good. And we have a 1-game sample of Tyler Bidet being piss poor. So I will give Tyler Bidet another week, but man, oh man. First screen, if he catches that may legitimately have gone for a touchdown. Second
it was a touchdown. 100%.
Yeah. 3rd and 3. You're not looking for the ball, and that was in the first quarter when we really could have used a sustained drive. And ultimately, yeah, I just, I understand why Bidet got his chance on this team to begin with, but if it happens again against Indianapolis, we'll be seeing Jaleel McLaughlin for 15 games after this one.
Well said,
Yep.
man. Well said. And hopefully. We talked about this on my show with Zach Seegers, but hopefully Harvey can learn how to pass protect. He has still not yet had 1 snap in pass protection throughout, I guess, now these 4 weeks of preseason, as Mark is calling it.
Well, JK can.
Yeah, JK.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
I'll go down a whole rabbit hole, so I'll try to keep it brief. But all last year, Sean Payton's talking about it's tough to manage when you have 3 guys. I'm not used to having 3 running backs. You don't have to have 3 running backs, dude. You're doing this shit to yourself. You don't need to have Bidet as your 3rd down back. It makes no sense. You signed J.K. Darby for a reason. Dobbins, he's literally one of the best pass protecting running backs, has been for a while. He can catch the ball out of the backfield. We know that. What's the point? I don't understand it. You can activate Bidet, let him play special teams, and actually run with 2. So you're doing it to yourself, and that's where I was frustrated with that.
Yes. Is it your turn next, Mark? I think
it is.
Stock up, stock down.
Stock down, a surprising one for me was Marvin Mims, man. I was really upset with him. I wasn't upset with him. I just was disappointed, I guess, in his performance. I didn't expect it from Marvin. I thought obviously the fumble on the punt was just kind of mind-blowing, not something that you would expect. And then the fact that he's pissed at himself is understandable. I kind of know what you hear is that he's a guy that holds himself to a high standard. But, really just in Kodiak, we talked about this in the Discord on the first Bo interception where the ball kind of sailed. He did have a lot to do with the reason that interception happened, right? Just the lack of effort, not something that you like to see. I felt like the body language and all that was a little bit, was a little bit bad. And, he had one good play where I liked the effort that he made to catch it, turn, and try to get into the first down. But otherwise, it was a very disappointing game from him. And he wasn't really that impressive on the kick return opportunities that he had as well. I felt he was a little hesitant. So I expect to bounce back from him. But you guys already took the other 2. I was going to say Bidet and I was going to say Sean Payton's game management. So I had to go with
double down on that just fine for this show.
I was going to call it out 3 times in a row, honestly, stock down.
Yeah.
Sean Payton.
Sean Payton is everything yesterday. And yes, somebody was saying in the comments too, experimenting, LOL. Dude, I'm telling you, coaches do it anyways. They always experiment early. They try to figure things out. And this is like the perfect experiment game. It was the perfect game for you to be able to do a little bit of crazy shit. And so I'm convinced of it. But yeah, that's that.
Well, I got to jump on a stock up, a player that he's never going to get his love except from me.
No, I knew you were going to say this guy.
On this panel, dude, we lose this game without Cortland Sutton, man.
Okay.
I didn't
lose
think that
this
either.
game without Cortland Sutton, okay? He came down with all, most of those 50-50 balls that Bo was throwing. Some tough catches, man. And again, catching that touchdown pass at the end of the first half, we should have ended that 10-3, but you guys have talked about that enough. Cortland Sutton was fantastic. And thank God we have him, because if we were running out our room without him right now, I think we'd probably lose that game. So mile high salute to Cortland Sutton. That's all I got to say. We can go to round 3 now.
To piggyback off that, I did have one critique for Cortland Sutton. It wasn't on the pick. That was a 50-50.
That was not his fault, by the way. That was not his fault. Bo threw a terrible ball.
Catch the ball, Cortland.
Well, again, that was on Mims. That was on Mims that he didn't drag the guy with him, and the guy made a really good play. And that was more of a really good pick than it was on Cortland Sutton, I'll say. The one that drove me crazy about Cortland Sutton, though, was when he did such a great job making the catch, breaking the tackle, and then not being aware where the stick was and didn't jump and get the first down, and then led to the 4th down where we ran it and Devondre Sweat blew it up. All he needed to do was be like, I just need to jump for the first down instead of falling straight down, and it wouldn't have mattered. So that was my one gripe, because I look at players, in past, like Rod Smith and those kind of guys who always were aware of where they needed to get to, always needed to get to the spot. And the fact that he didn't know, that was a little, I couldn't believe he broke the tackle, to be honest with you. I thought he was going to go down early.
No,
and then when he breaks the tackle and still not getting it, that was like, oh, what? But yeah, overall good game for Court. I have one that I'm surprised David didn't say. It's his dude. So
I was hoping somebody would get to it.
I'm going to save it for you. No, I'm going to save it for you. We're going to go, let's see. Stock up. Let's go Riley Moss. Riley Moss, one of those guys who, there he is, who never gets there. Everybody's like, oh, well, if he doesn't work, you can play him as a safety. Is he really that great of a cornerback? Yes. The man is a freaking good cornerback. He proved it yesterday in the clutch. They went deep on him. They were testing him. Of course, they're not going to go tell the rookie to go against Pat Surtain. So they're going to throw at Riley, and Riley did his job, made the breakups. Stock up Riley Moss. Huge game.
Beautifully said. Thank you. Let's go crack it back. All right. Love it. Kodiak.
Well, I got to say, I think the only reason Moss had that good of a game was because I was wearing his jersey in the stands. So, yeah, I can take some of the credit there, too. I do want to give a shout-out to Zach Seegers because he kind of put me onto this. I do have a slight stock down, and it's because of the expectations I had coming into the year. Darren Rizzi, okay? So, the opening kickoff, you boot it into the, through the uprights or whatever. So, you give Tennessee a start at the 35, and all they needed was that little dump-off on 3rd down to Tony Pollard, and then they were in striking distance for a field goal. And I will say, I don't put much stock into the preseason, and I guess you could call this the 4th preseason game or whatever, but I know we do have a lot of turnover on the special teams department, especially because we fired Cutweek and Westhoff after all the disasters we had last year in crucial moments. That being said, I have not really been impressed with the coverage at all either. I don't understand why you kick off that one, yet with 6 seconds left, you take your gamble with your kickoff coverage, and instead you kick it to Chimere DK, and then he runs it for 71 yards. And you're very fortunate that that was only 3 points for the Tennessee Titans. So, yes, stock down for Darren Rizzi just because the reputation he came into this season and this team with. Now, I get it. I understand it'll probably be ironed out. He is one of the very best in the game. Sean Payton is a special team savant, so he very, very rarely has underperforming special teams units. Therefore, that's what I got to go with. Unfortunately, I just got to call it like I see it there.
Yeah, he was on my list as well.
Very fair. Very fair. Mark, Going stock up, stock down.
Who would have thought about this, like 7 years ago? I never would have imagined this would be the case. But stock up to a coach on this team that he basically saved us for quite a while now, but he definitely saved us yesterday. And that is Vance Joseph, dude. He went from being a head coach here that was terrible as a head coach, that was booed out, cussed out by everybody in the city. Everybody hated Vance Joseph. They wanted him to fail wherever he went, including myself, even though I always personally liked him because I felt like he was a nice guy. But I would cuss out Vance Joseph all the time. To now, he's like the new Wade Phillips, man. He's like, Sean can do all of his crazy stuff, whatever the hell he wants to experiment with. Darren Rizzi, who knows? Maybe he's like ripping the same bong that Sean is hitting. But Vance Joseph is out there just dialing up defense, man. The blitzes. Like, we gave them the ball at the 21-yard line, and they had to end up punting. That's insane. And there was no penalties. It was just because we were absolutely wrecking their offense and sending them backwards. -2 yards in the second half. Dude, VJ has got it dialed in, man. He was dialed in last year, and that continued. So big stock up for Vance Joseph.
Oh, yep. Wonderfully said. Might you say he's having the time of his life?
He is having the time of his life. He now is having the time of his life.
Yeah. Oh man, there's still a few players that I feel like we should do stock up on. Hopefully you guys can think of who they are.
I got them.
But thanks for the assist, Jeremy.
You're welcome. Do this.
Dude, we got a franchise punter, man. He looked like a franchise punter, man. He might have had the best game out of anybody in the whole game with the opportunities he had. I'm looking at the stats right now. Jeremy Crawshaw had 3 punts. All 3 of them landed inside the 10-yard line. How good is that? I think only 1 was returned. Again, Darren Rizzi, whatever. Jeremy Crawshaw got all those bad punts out of him. He made 3 very good punts against Tennessee to really put them in a tough position. And Jonathan Cooper almost got that safety on him. So Jeremy Crawshaw, I am no longer worried about the punting game. We're back to it. It was the best possible pick we could have made with a 6th-round pick, Mark. You heard it here first.
Asinine.
This was the best pick. We got a starter. We got a guy who's looking like a Pro Bowl, future All-Pro punter. We got a franchise punter. I'm saying it after 1 game, baby. I'm back on the Jeremy Crawshaw, the franchise train.
Listen, you can get back on the. I mean, I think he's going to be a phenomenal punter. It does not make a 6th-round pick for him. It doesn't. That will never be a good decision ever. Doesn't matter.
If we go to the Super Bowl and he pins someone inside the 5, and that's why we win the game, it's worth a 6th round.
No, you just got lucky that you ended up being stupid enough to take him in the 6th round. But it's from a like a philosophical standpoint, it's very dumb.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yeah,
well,
it's like you'll take a quarterback in the 2nd round or the 3rd round, and he happens to hit. Okay, you just got lucky, but it's very dumb to do that. That's a whole nother conversation. But yes, I was very happy, dude. I was thinking about you the whole time. Every time he punted it and it landed inside the 10, I'm like, I hope David is celebrating the punt, man. This is what he wanted. He wanted our offense to stall so that he could see the guy with the mustache go out there and perform. And that's what you got, baby.
Normally I click away when it's about to punt, but no, not this time, man.
You know what? I'll give you that. I'll give you that. Pumped. Same for me. I was like, I'm watching his punt.
Yeah. I care to watch it. So maybe we could go real quick. There's a few guys that I think we need to name before we get into hold your horses.
Yep.
Jeremy, who you got?
Okay, I got 1 stock up, 1 stock down left. Okay. Stock up for sure, and I don't know why we didn't. I almost think like sometimes the stars get like forgotten just because we expect a lot out of them. Yes. But Nick Bonito, my goodness, like just insane. Like he was an absolute menace out there, and even when he looked blocked, he would clean up. Like Cooper would be coming around and he'd still end up getting the sack. I mean, he was unblockable. He should have got a safety. He earned a safety. They didn't call like the most blatant hold ever. It might have ended up working out for us, but that was a safety in the end zone for sure. Even on I think there was a punt where he got held and he looked at the ref like, what the heck? Like he was unblockable. So yeah, Nick Bonito made that money and proved it, went and showed everybody why.
He was fantastic. I think he had 2 TFLs, if I remember correctly. Let me see.
Yeah.
He had 2 sacks.
He dominated against the run too, man. I mean, an absolute menace.
Yes. Yeah, he was slipping into the backfield, blowing things up. I can't find his name. Here we go. Yeah, he had 1 sack, 2 TFLs, 3 total tackles, man. He was a monster. Absolute monster. Kodiak. Or did you already do your stock down real quick?
Oh, you can
Let's
go
clean this
around.
up, yeah.
I'll leave it out there. If nobody picks it, I'll mention
Okay,
it real quick.
cool.
Honestly, this is one that I guess I'm going to have to eat my words on because I was saying all offseason that I did not want to see Alex Singleton have a meaningful role on this defense. But, after the 3rd down conversion to Pollard yesterday on the opening drive, I was like, all right, here we go. This is Greenlaw being out, and you're just going to have to live with it with Singleton. But Alex Singleton and Sternad both played a very, very good game. And so I got to give Singleton his credit there. And yeah, I guess I just got to eat my words. And heck of a play to, force the ball to bobble a little bit so that Helm couldn't secure it on the opening drive as well. Maybe that did save us as well. But I did think the ball was bobbled. So good challenge by Sean as well. But ultimately, I was very, very proud of both of our inside linebackers yesterday. Even as I questioned coming into the week, I was like, hey, Pollard, Helm, Okonkwo, if they go off, this is exactly how it's going to happen. And I pointed at the inside linebackers as a weak spot, the only weak spot of the defense, but didn't happen yesterday. Well done, Singleton and Sternad.
Mark, who you got?
Yeah, they were balling. Yeah, I'll stay on the superstar train, man. I mean, there was a lot of things on Twitter from Titans Twitter talking about what Calvin Ridley's going to do to Patrick Surtain, which I wish I had seen before the game because that would have been funny. But thankfully, Broncos Twitter kept a lot of these receipts because Calvin Ridley ran 19 routes against Patrick Surtain, got targeted 1 time, and made 0 catches. Absolute shutout.
And he blew that play up. Pat Surtain did, right? Didn't
Yeah.
he get a PBU for that?
Yep, he did. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, unlike the one, and it was it's just comical, man, because that's just what he does, and because you don't hear his name all the time, people are like, why is he so good? But without a doubt, not even close. He's the best corner. He shuts everybody down. He did it to Jamar Chase. He does it to Justin Jefferson. He does it to everybody. Doesn't matter. So definitely not worried about Calvin Ridley. So just shout out to Pat Surtain, man, continuing to do his thing. But the whole defense was a ginormous stock up for sure.
I can't remember if we've talked about these guys yet, but I'll loop them into just one group. The running game, RJ Harvey, J.K. Dobbins. Thank God for these guys. Stock up on these gentlemen. We ran for 151 yards, and can't remember the last time we've done that easily. RJ Harvey looks legit. Hope to see him obviously integrated more into the fold throughout the season. And J.K. Dobbins breaking tackles. That touchdown run was a thing of beauty. It helped seal it for us. So I love the fact that we have a real run game. Let's use it more. Let's rely on it more. Let's have, I guess the stats weren't so bad in terms of our balance. I guess over what was expected. Shout out to Zach Seegers. He posted out some advanced statistic about that, but I want to see us rely more on the run game. Any other quick fires before we get to hold your horses?
Well, I'm just curious. What did you guys think about RJ Harvey's number 12 now that you saw it in person?
I love it.
Any thoughts on the number?
You had a 50-yard run in it, so it looked good.
it was still a little bit weird, but
Man, I wanted him to take that one to the house so bad. I was just like, please, just if he had a half more step,
the angle was tough.
I know. I was just like, go, come on. But when was the last time we saw a 50-yard run? I don't even remember. You know what I mean?
It was the game. Latavius Murray had it, and it was the game that. Oh my God, who is that guard that we drafted out of Kansas State?
Reisner.
Reisner
was yelling at the quarterback at the time. I think it was Russ. No, it was Case Keenum.
Oh, okay.
Or no, it wasn't. So it wasn't Reisner. It wasn't Reisner. I always get that one confused. It was another. It was Mike Purcell. Mike Purcell was in Case Keenum's face. That's how long ago it was when we had a back run one that long. So that's crazy.
Amazing. Well, Let's get to hold your horses.
All right.
Let's do
Or
it.
giddy up or hold your horses. Sorry. I only put the second part of the.
Yeah. Glass half empty on David's part on that.
Oh, man. I'm just negative Nancy over here today.
All right. One of the guys that the last guy, I'll start with this, and I know how Kodiak is going to answer this because he kind of already answered it. So I'll start with, I'll go with Mark on this one. And he agreed with it. No, I'm going to go with David because he agreed with Kodiak for the most part. But I felt my last stock down, and I didn't get to say it, but this is going to just goes perfectly into this. I felt like Ben Powers was a problem yesterday. I felt like I didn't love his effort, especially there was a lot of, not only did he struggle blocking, but like there was some times when we got stood up. And remember last year when we picked up Javonte and like carried him 10 extra yards almost on the regular? There was a bunch of times yesterday where we got stood up and you were able to like push or not get pushed. And Powers was like, I don't know what he was doing. He was on the bong hit train as well. He was not paying attention, didn't run over, did not give the effort that I wanted to see. So giddy up or hold your horses on the statement. We are squarely in bench Ben Powers territory.
Man. Dude, giddy up, man. Let's just do it. What do we got to lose? What do we got to lose?
I mean, when you go for it on, with 4th and 9 in a 1-score game for no reason.
Yeah, you're already.
It would check out.
Yeah. Let's see what Palcho can do, man. But, Palcho didn't look too sexy this preseason either. That's the problem.
Right. Kodiak, I want to hear the rebuttal because I know you thought the O-line played well.
Listen, man, my thing is who do you bench him for? Right. Isn't Palcho 6'6"? So I don't really know if you want that kind of height, on your interior offensive line. But regardless, once again, I think there's just so much hate on the interior offensive line. Everybody wants to point out the fact that, even though they had a tough matchup with Jeffrey Simmons and Tavadre Sweat, which is something we knew coming into this game, yeah, they got theirs. But you know what? They're good players for a reason. But I thought, nobody wants to talk about the other, 30, 31, 32 plays where the offensive line blocked completely fine. So, yeah, once again, you bench Ben Powers. Who do you bench him for? Once again, that's just making a problem that, in my opinion, doesn't need to be addressed right now out of nothing. I don't know. I just don't see a reason for that to be realistic at this time, especially when we have, like I said, we have a 15-game sample of this exact same starting 5 playing very, very well last year. So I just don't get it.
Yeah, Mark, you have any thoughts?
Yeah, I think it's the ultimate hold your horses for sure. I thought Ben Powers played actually very well, and he graded out for what it's worth. Some people like PFF, some people don't. He was the best lineman yesterday on the team.
No
overall, he was the best in run defense. He was the 3rd in pass blocking, and it was by quite a big margin. In fact, his overall grade was very, very high. I thought he played super well, man. I really did. I think, listen, I mean, he's a veteran guy. He's going to take some adjustment to get into the wide zone, but you know what you got with him. You're stuck with him, and there's absolutely nobody that you'd be excited that would replace him. So I would be more open to replacing Wattenberg well before Ben Powers. But yeah, I thought Ben Powers is good, man. Especially after rewatching a lot of the All-22 today. I thought he was moving well because there were some times where they had him pulling. I thought he had a couple key blocks, especially for the RJ Harvey big run. He had one that really spurred him off. Thought he played really well. Was good in pass pro. Had zero pressures, 0 sacks, obviously. 0 quarterback hits allowed. I thought he was good. I thought Mike McGlinchey played like shit yesterday. If we're going to talk about a game, but overall, I thought Ben Powers was good.
All right. Let's go Kodiak next. Let's do Sean Payton needs to relinquish play calling duties to Davis Webb.
No. I know that's a very popular sentiment. Hold your horses, I should say, for the segment. I know that's a very popular take on Broncos Twitter right now that, just let Sean be like the leader of men. Let Davis Webb be the offensive coordinator. But listen, are we not acting like this guy has 25 years, 30 years of head coaching experience across the NFL? Now, I know that it's not just about that because it is possible to fail upwards in the sport of football, especially as a coach. We see it all the time. That being said, Sean Payton, what we do know about him is that he is a guy who is an architect of very cohesive offenses year in and year out. The fact that we got what we did out of our talent last year was absolutely nothing short of a miracle. So once again, that's just making a change that doesn't need to be made. I understand people's frustrations. I understand frustrations with the running back room, how the game was managed yesterday. But for the most part, I didn't think the schematics were that bad. Like, to be completely honest, I think if we execute even 2 or 3 more plays, we're talking about a completely different thing from our head coach.
Nice. Let's go. Mark, because David went first last time.
I think Kodiak said it wonderfully, man. It would be exciting. I love Davis Webb. He's one of the funnest people to watch on the sidelines. Holy shit, he had me laughing today. He was so good. But no, man, it's a crazy thing to think about. I mean, it's easy. And one thing I've learned when I really started, I'll say probably when I started the YouTube channel, because I really started like pay attention to things I never normally would have. One thing I really learned is like it's so easy to criticize play callers up front, but then when you go back and you see like what the idea of something was, or how, man, if Tyler Bidet catches that screen, which is a perfectly called screen at a perfect time, executed perfectly, it's a touchdown. It's a different game. So it's easy to like blame the play caller, but I don't think Sean Payton's play calling is really an issue overall. I think he's one of the better play callers, obviously, in the entire league. And yeah, I feel like those kinds of statements are more just like people trying to either troll or have a conversation. But yeah, I mean, there's no way you make a change there.
Yeah, it's fun to talk about when the other guy hasn't had a game where he's just had idiotic play calling. You know, like name one renowned NFL play caller that hasn't just called a terrible game before. You know, they all do. They all are stubborn. They all can get stuck in their ways at certain points. They all can want to pass the ball more than run it. The good ones, at least. Sean Payton is not Pat Shurmur. We are far removed from Pat Shurmur, but yeah, once Davis Webb has his one bad game of, the conversation is going to be different again. Davis Webb did fantastic in the preseason, but let's not act like this guy is going to be the greatest play caller of all time, man. Sean Payton has had a lot of good offenses, man. A lot of good offenses.
I mean, yes, yesterday was another preseason game, so he should have done it yesterday, if anything.
Dude, I guess so. I guess he should have done it. Yeah, if Sean Payton was really going to do this bong hit thing week 1, he should have just gave over the reins. Yeah, that's a good question, Jeremy.
It is.
It's just one of those things where you're like, okay, Davis Webb has literally played had play calling duties for one preseason game ever. Sean Payton has a Super Bowl ring for the Saints. And we're like, oh yeah, put Davis Webb in. Like, I just thought it was just like, I mean, how knee-jerk reaction can you possibly?
Yeah, I saw some of that too.
Yeah, so I just, it was funny. I mean, I get it. Like, it did look, I mean, Davis Webb looked like a freaking genius in the preseason, the way he called that one game with Stidham. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, come on. What are we doing here? All right, let's go. Let's go, Mark. Who hasn't started? Sorry.
Mark.
Mark hasn't started. Okay, good. All right. So this defense will surpass the sack total from last year. And last year, as I remind you, was an all-time high for the Denver Broncos.
I think giddy up, man. I really do, actually. We're on pace already for 102 sacks, which would shatter the record.
Sure.
But I think so, man, because the thing about it is, Nick Bonito and Jonathan Cooper are very good. You can make the argument that Nick Bonito can get even better, right? And then Jonah Ellis, you expect for him to take another leap. D'Andrea Tillman now actually has an off season. You expect him to take a leap. Maybe you're gonna mix in, Q Robinson, and then on the interior of the defensive line too. I mean, we got all the same starters coming back. JFM, Zach Allen. You expect those guys to get it. Maybe Savion Jones and them gets in the mix. I think there's going to be I think Jahdae Barron's going to get 3 or 4 sacks this year. Him and McMillan at least combined, because they, so I think it's very, very possible for sure. And I'd love for that to happen, obviously, for many obvious reasons. So I'm giddy up on that one.
All right, let's go, David.
Yeah, I got to giddy up on this. 70, 70, 70, 70. Say it with me. That's what we've been saying. Now, I mistakenly got the sack record wrong. I think it's 63. I thought it was at like 68 or 69. That's what we had last year. So it's going to be even better because I just thought we were going to get like 1 or 2 sacks more. Nah, we're going to get at least 7 more sacks this year. Nick Bonito gets better every single year. Jonathan Cooper gets better every single year. Just wait till Savion Jones starts getting going here in the last third of the season, man. This is a dominant pass rush, and we got this whole group, and I still think we can bring back JFM. We still can. We have the core of this pass rush for this season and then 2 more seasons after that. This is going to be an issue for many teams. How do you stop us? You can't. We're going to make Daniel Jones look like Daniel Jones next week. I'm calling it.
Alex?
I think I got to make this 3 straight hold your horses because, I think about what we had to do to break that sack record last year. And, a lot had to go right for us to be in those positions to where we could just literally tee off on those quarterbacks. And listen, I know that, we had our first game and everyone's really, really excited and deservedly so. Like, it speaks to the talent of this team that we're even talking about this. And you know what? It's not a crazy question to ask at all. That being said, there were a lot of games last year where we just beat the piss out of undermanned and overmatched teams. And I feel like that really helped our sack total just go through the roof. And not to say that we won't have that again, but I think it's going to be tougher for those games to come by this upcoming season. But so that's why I got to go with hold your horses on that one. I'm just looking at it from like a, if I think objectively, like, are we going to do it? It's very tough for me to see us getting close to that number. But you know what? We got the guys to do it. So it wouldn't surprise me at all if we did.
Yeah, we'd have to have another healthy year. I will say that. But I do think Jonah Ellis will be better. I do think Nick Bonito and Cooper could even be better. And Tillman's there too. And then you have, like Mark said, you have safeties that can come in. You have cornerbacks that can come in. You have Greenlaw that can. So we do have a chance to do it. It's going to be interesting to see if we can get some leads where they have to throw, and then you can really tee off. That will obviously help. But I honestly think Cam Ward was a little slippery yesterday, even though we got to him so much. So you put a statue back there, and it could be a whole different ballgame. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think that I almost say like 50-50 on this. Like, even if 1 or 2 guys go down, we still got guys right behind them that can make noise. So yeah, I'll say giddy up because I want to be positive here.
Thank you. That was a great segment, Jeremy. And I liked how we had some good discourse on that. But yeah, we're running a little bit behind. That's no issue. But let's spend some time now talking about Indianapolis, man. If you guys need a refresher, the Colts and Daniel Jones absolutely obliterated the Mike McDaniel led and Tua Tagovailoa led Miami Dolphins yesterday by a score of 33-8. Mike McDaniel, I thought that, man, this is going to be the last year. It's only 1 week, but man, it ain't looking good. They forced a ton of turnovers from from Miami. They 3 total turnovers, all by Tua. Daniel Jones was 22 of 29 for 272 yards and a touchdown. Quarterback rating of 115.9. He also ran for 26 yards and 2 touchdowns. Michael Pittman, 6 receptions, 80 yards and a touchdown. Tyler Warren, this is also concerning, 7 receptions, 76 yards. And now they have a defense led by Lou Emery. I can never say his name right. Anarumo. So let's talk about it. Keys to the Colts game. Let's start off with Kodiak and work our way around.
My big thing is you just got to remind Danny Dimes who he actually is, okay? We're not going to let one game against a team who, honestly, they're probably going to – that looked like a regime-ending game. That looks like a game where if you're Miami, you trade Tua. If anybody will even take him, you fire McDaniel, and you probably fire your GM at the end of the season, and that basically kicks things off for you. And the worst thing about it for the Dolphins is they have 16 games left of this. So my thing is we're not just going to act like Daniel Jones has been anything in the NFL. You know, yes, he was on the Giants, but he was a big reason why I've been calling the Giants the new Cleveland Browns over the past 7 years. I don't care about, you know, the boneheaded decisions the Browns have made over the past 3 years. Think about a team that's so unsuccessful as the Giants have been over the past 3 years. And Danny Dimes was a big part of that. Yes, it's not impossible to think that he has improved at all throughout that time because, you know what, he's now coached by Shane Steichen and probably better than anyone that was on the Giants staff at that time. But listen, man, you got to remind Daniel Jones that he is actually a terrible quarterback. He is actually a guy who turns the football over a lot, puts the football in harm's way a lot. And at this point, you got to solid stop the run and make Daniel Jones beat you. And honestly, I don't think he can. Like, I know Indy's got some dudes, but we've got the best secondary in the NFL.
I love it.
Jeremy.
Yeah, I honestly, the thing that worries me about this game, not worries, but like the thing we need to be most aware of is that we ended the Colts season last year in their playoff hopes. And they, like Mark brought up, we talked about it yesterday. They had a chance to play this game in Germany. They said, we want it. We want it at home. They are looking at this game like a revenge game. Like, if you remember what happened last year, the game turned when they were about to run the football in and take a big lead, and he dropped the football at the goal line, ends up being a touchback, and then we poured it on after that. And I'm sure, like, you know, we were the victor, so you kind of, it's just a footnote to us. But if you're the Colts and you're that team that's worked all off season and you're thinking about, oh my gosh, we had it and we just let the ball go, like, this is circled for them, and we need to be aware of how motivated they're going to be coming into this game. We got to have the play calls in early. Bo needs to settle down. I think we will play better on the road. I think we just do. I think that kind of settles everybody. I think it focuses everybody. You didn't have to worry about all the pregame stuff and the first game jitters or whatever. And, you know, how many tickets do I need to get for my family? All that stuff. You just need to focus on this football game. I think Bo Nix will be better. We need to stop the run the ball. Don't turn the ball over. We should win, but do not take this game lightly because they are not going to be coming. They're not going to be holding anything back.
Mark.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, it's gonna be a significantly tougher game. I mean, you know, I don't remember the last time we even won in Indy. I had to Google it before, and I guess we won like a random Thursday night game with Simeon and Osweiler coming in.
2017 Osweiler, because I remember we were wearing like our all orange uniforms.
Color rush. Yeah. Which, by the way, this is probably controversial, but let's stop with the all orange. Look like freaking Fanta bottles out there. But anyways,
dude, I love the uniform combo yesterday.
Did you? I did appreciate the White Sox. I thought it helped. But,
yeah,
the White Sox are better.
Yes.
Anyways, yeah. So I mean, it's always been a tough place to play, man. I mean, Peyton Manning had his reunion there and ended up losing. Like, it's just a tough. We always historically have not played well there. I am grateful that the game's actually at 2 p.m. instead of an 11 a.m. But yeah, I'm kind of a Daniel Jones truther. I always kind of felt like he got the short end of the stick. I think he's a pretty solid QB when he's healthy. But I think our defense is just going to be so overwhelming. The biggest thing, besides stopping the run, obviously, with Jonathan Taylor, is I am worried, man, about what Tyler Warren is capable of doing to our inside linebackers. You're going to have a legitimate plan for him because he's somebody that can hurt this defense a lot because the guys on the outside are going to be taken care of. So it's going to be a really good opportunity for this Broncos team to show that they can bounce back, especially on offense. So definitely looking forward to it, man. Can't wait.
Yeah,
for regular season game number 1.
Yeah, for real. I think that hopefully the just atrocities we saw yesterday force this team, coaching staff included, to lock the heck in because we never play the Colts well. It just always feels like that. Like they always just play us really, really tough. And I love how you said that, Jeremy, how this is like a revenge game for them. Daniel Jones looked like a freaking MVP yesterday, but let's not act like anybody starting on that secondary in Miami is even sniffing snaps here for the Denver Broncos. Come on now, man.
Did he even get sacked yesterday, by the way?
So what?
Let me look. I didn't even think Daniel Jones was. Yeah, he was. No, he
I
wasn't.
think Bradley Chubb got a sack.
Oh yeah.
Yes, he had 1 sack. That was the only one.
So he wasn't really under duress, like it's gonna be. So
No.
yes, we
The Colts do have a good O-line, but again, I think that Miami defense might be one of the worst in the NFL this year, and they came out and showed it yesterday. Jonathan Taylor averaged less than 4 yards per carry. I think it is so important for us to stop Jonathan Taylor. His stats weren't like mind-blowing or anything yesterday. We called it out. When he fumbled that thing at the goal line last year, it changed everything for us. We have to stop the run. We have to stop Tyler Warren. I have no doubt that we'll be able to take care of, for the most part, Michael Pittman, Josh Downs, and those guys. Like, I think they might have some punches to throw, but I think we're going to hit way more with our secondary than their wide receivers will. But Richie Rich, I'm going to say this. Where was this? Dude, you get ready to learn Justin Sternad, man, because if Dre Greenlaw's not playing, you're going to see him definitely having some responsibility against Tyler Warren, man. Get ready. And might I say, I think Jeremy said this, that dude was our best linebacker we had yesterday, Justin Sternad. So get ready. Get ready. I wouldn't mind seeing more Lavelle Bailey too, though. But it's just going to be so important to make them one-dimensional. Because if we can get some pressure, pin our ears back, get some pressure, then that's the type of game that we want to play. Now, how does our offense stack up against their defense? I think that's what I'm a little bit more worried about. Yeah.
I think.
Any other thoughts on the game, guys? No, we're a little bit over time.
Just to like, as bad as and frustrating as yesterday was, there were so many lessons and so many things that they're going to be looking to correct after a game like that. I think we needed that to focus us going into this game, because this game maybe you could have looked over it a little bit at the beginning of the season and be like, oh, it's the Colts, whatever. Next week it's the Chargers. So, but after a game like that, you're not looking over anything. Like, there's a lot of things, a lot of T's to cross and I's to dot. You know what I mean? So I think that, as frustrating as it was, it probably was the right thing, the best thing for us to have a game like that, because we're going to need to be like with it. And I want everything to be the whole way the offense runs. I need it to just be 180 better. Like, that was just so frustrating to watch, that if they get that corrected and the defense plays the way they did, and let's not make stupid decisions. Let's not go for stupid fourth downs and be ridiculous. I think we should be all right.
Mm-hmm. Shall we get into some score predictions or hot takes? How you guys feel this game will go? I know I'm kind of putting you guys on the spot, so if you need a moment, I can go with it, unless anybody wants to kick us off.
No, you can kick us off, man.
Okay, yeah. So I see us having a better game, man. I'm sorry. We went 1-0 playing like the worst game that we imagined. I just don't see us looking like that 2 weeks straight. I just don't. Give me Broncos 23, Colts 17. That's what I'm saying. We get the victory on the road.
I love it. I can go next. I'm kind of worried about this game. I don't know how confident I feel about our ability to stop their run game until I actually see it. Like, I know this defense is really good, but the big reason we got Dre Greenlaw was because of some of the ineffective play we had down the stretch last year of stopping the run. He's pretty much the only change that we had, and he might not play in this one. And because the Colts offensive line, man, they're very good. And then you add Tyler Warren, who's a very good blocker and a very good pass catcher. So it's almost like the only small weakness that we might have on our defense is the pretty big strength of the Colts. That's why I don't like the matchup very much. But at the end of the day, I think we're going to make more plays than they are. I trust our defense more than I trust Daniel Jones when he needs to make the play. So I got us winning. I think the Broncos offense scores 30, and we win 30-21.
Wow.
I would like that.
Okay.
Maybe because we get like 2 pick sixes, but it's still going to be 30.
Dude, put down anytime touchdown, Profit X, if you can find it, for Tyler Warren touchdown, because they're gonna burn. He's gonna burn us for 1 touchdown, man. It's gonna happen.
Probably. Yeah.
Just hopefully not Brock Bowers level last year.
I like
That
it.
sucked.
Alex, you have one or?
You know what? Yeah. So I guess, do you guys remember I think the only time we've played Daniel Jones, do you guys remember what happened? I got it.
It was a Monday night game?
We smashed him. I don't remember.
Week 1, 2021. We beat them 27-7. And you guys remember? I know that was like the only game that I thought he played well that year. Different discussion. Either way, so 27-7, week 1 victory, iced by a Melvin Gordon 70-yard touchdown. Okay. Once again, I kind of already alluded to this, but our key to this game is, well, listen, man. Daniel Jones is still what he is, okay? Once again, not impossible to think that he's improved, but 75 turnovers in 67 career games, okay? He is reckless with the football in the red zone. And the reason he can make plays sometimes with his legs is because he never feels pressure bearing down, which means he puts the football in harm's way. Now, I think we will still outstop the run game, but my prediction is that we get 2 turnovers on Daniel Jones, and they come at the worst times for the Indianapolis Colts. We could have had some backbreaking situations yesterday, and I think they will be backbreaking for the Indianapolis Colts. And my prediction is that Harvey has a 70-yard run to ice this game, much like Melvin Gordon did in week 1, like when we played Daniel Jones last time. So my score prediction, I'm going to go 27-20 Broncos.
Wonderful.
Good. Yeah, I was that's pretty close to what I had. I think I'm gonna go 20. I'm gonna blend the two of Richie's and Kodiak's. I'm gonna go 27-23 Broncos.
Ooh.
I just think we're probably gonna give up some stuff early, and then it's gonna come down to where they're gonna need to have a long drive at the end, and they're gonna need to score a touchdown, and we don't let them. A field goal is not close enough for them. There's not gonna help them. So yeah, 27-23. I think Bo Nix looks better. I think they iron out some stuff. There's still going to be some issues. I worry. I don't think you can you can correct everything in 1 week, but
No.
I do think that they'll focus more. We need to stop the run. I think if we can get it to where Daniel Jones needs to beat us, I like us. So that's the whole thing. That's what it comes down to for me is, can we score enough points and then make Daniel Jones beat us? I think we'll be okay if we do that. So 27-23 Broncos.
Dude.
I got one thing I want to add, if that's cool,
Yeah.
real quick. Maybe it's like food for thought. I think this game has the potential of being like the game that makes the Jade Barron pick look very good. There's been a lot of like, people have been really critical of it, and I'm like, okay, dude, like it's just a game,
Strangely.
you know?
Strangely.
Yeah, like how do you judge a draft pick after a game? You're supposed to give them like 2-3 years, but nope, not here. Our fans, they like to do it after a game. But I think this is going to be like the perfect example of why adding him gives this team so much versatility now. And then you have Hufanga, because you can do so many things now. And going up against what I think is going to be an elite tight end in Tyler Warren, it's just like it's going to be when we go against Brock Bowers. You can get really creative. It's like, do you put PS2 on him? Do you put Hufanga in the box and have PJ Locke play out back? Do you have Jade Barron playing a tight end, or 2 guys playing the slot guys? I mean, it's going to be really interesting. So they might not do it necessarily this early in the season, but that's what I'm really looking forward to, is like, all right, how do they utilize the extra DB in a way of being able to like have other matchups, work out? Because a lot of times, like, you can't take a safety from playing safety because you need one. But now you just have so much depth and so much different guys at positional groups that you can really switch things around, and maybe it'll help us in a game like this. So something to look out for.
Yep. Wonderfully said, Mark. Guys, thank you so much. This hour always just flies by, or hour, 10 minutes or so. Before we wrap up, would love to hear what everybody's got going on their channel. For everybody watching, we've had about 100 people in here. Thank you so much. Again, please go subscribe to all the channels and support all my friends and what they're doing on their channels. Links in the description. So Kodiak, what you got going on, and where can the viewers find you?
So you can find me on Twitter or TikTok or YouTube. Just search up Kodiak Broncos. I will probably be the first one that pops up. But I'm going to be looking at the Colts, man. I watched them today, and I'm going to put something out on why I didn't think they actually played like a super duper great game. I just thought Miami played a terrible game. And that's why I think we take care of business. And I also think we need to do some internal scouting. So I will be posting probably a video, probably some shorts about, where I think the Broncos fell short and how they can be corrected. And yeah, ultimately, go use promo code Dave on ProfitX.
Dude, thank you. Thank you. Jeremy, where can the people find you?
I'm Broncos Unbridled is my handle on YouTube, and me and Mark are doing the post game breakdowns now. So
Love it.
We're that's always fun. It's almost we didn't do it instantly yesterday, which is probably better for both of us. Like I would have been unhinged. But yeah, doing that, and horsepower hour, man. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Appreciate that.
Love it.
We should start calling our post-game reaction box of chocolates, dude.
Because you never know.
That's going to be the name, because you really do never know what you're going to get with us. And so
It's going to be
that's
spiked.
maybe we'll think about that. But
Yeah.
Be on the lookout for that. Sorry, I cut you off.
No, you're good. I was done.
Okay.
Well, Mark,
Me, Twitter at Marky_sports. I got to get into TikTok. I have a TikTok, but I don't really use it a lot. YouTube, Marky Sports Denver. I'll be doing a lot of film reviews. That's kind of one of my favorite things to do, especially during the season. Maybe just focus on, I'll do one specific to Bo. I'll do maybe some specific to I think it probably the run game. But, looking forward to that. And then talking about, keys to the game and really going deeper into the Colts as well. So if you love to, if you kind of love the film review analysis, I love it when people watch them. And I really want you guys to give me your feedback, even if it's very critical, because that helps me a lot. Otherwise, I just assume that I'm doing half decent job. So please give me all the feedback in the world. I always ask that. And yes, go download ProfitX, use code Dave. I put one bet in, and I'm 1 for 1.
Play.
Well, now I'm 1 for 2. Now I'm 1 for 2, because I did bet Kyle Hufanga touchdown, and he didn't score. Also, I told you, Kodiak, Minnesota's coming back and winning this game. And they are smoking.
Oh, shit. I haven't even – I turned it off.
They are smoking the Bears.
Oh, shit.
Wow.
I think we missed a Caleb Williams meltdown while doing this show.
Oh.
Yeah, he was painting his nails. He was painting his nails while he was melting down.
Looks like you're right.
Something to look forward to, everybody. I will say, I don't personally bet, but I respect everybody out there that does, because that game yesterday was an 8.5 point spread. And Sean Payton decided to chuck the ball on 4th and 8 instead of kick a game-winning field goal that would have made it 11.
Oh, it was sketchy, brother. And it was actually 8. The consensus line across all of them was 8 on the nose. Oh, it was very sketchy.
That's what I'm saying.
That's why it was an experiment.
That's why I can't do it, because I would be missing in action if I would have.
I never bet on the Broncos.
Yeah, you can't.
That's the best thing to do. Yeah,
dude, you guys are great. Thank you. Thank you for all the support. Yeah, go download ProfitX, #1 sports prediction market there, 40+ states.
Let's go.
Hey, even Texas, where I reside, even Colorado, where you guys are at, where I hopefully will be again at some point in my life. So, guys, I'll be doing Broncos videos every day. I'll be coming back with some more stuff looking into this Colts game. Also, might get into some film review. We'll see how time permits. But please subscribe, like. I love meeting all you guys. Until next Monday, hopefully we can start out 2-0. Until then, go Broncos.
Go Broncos, baby.
That sacrifice is grabbed.